Call the education committee to order. We do have a set of minutes.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, public comment?
You said we talk about it. You wanna talk about it, or how would you just want me to?
You need to say whatever you want to say.
State your name.
I'm Chris Story. I live in District 13. Since May, I've asked this county commission and several other county government agencies to post agendas. I'm not asking for anything more than what the law says and for a year and a half and what the county rules have said for 15 years. It's like pulling teeth. Can't get anybody to respond back. Mr. Chairman, you didn't respond back. I think this is at least the fourth time that education hadn't had an agenda out, and it's always a generic agenda, just like I spoke to y'all about at the road commission this morning. It's not that big a deal, and I'm not passionate about this stuff, but when do y'all start to look the other way? Because I'm not. It ain't been fixed in 8 months, and it's not gonna get fixed tonight, I don't think, but at some point, we're gonna have to figure out how y'all gonna figure out how you're gonna do your agendas. And then I don't have to come up here and accord it, your mayor, dwell on it, and I didn't like that word when he said that. I don't wanna dwell on it. I wanna call up here and say, hey, thanks for doing that, I won't ever have to look at it again, I don't see me being able to do that. 2 nights ago, this agenda wasn't ready, big a deal. I texted Jeff and I said, do you have something? And he said, yeah. And so then I said, well, why would you, because you had an agenda, but it's a generic agenda, it had nothing on there. That's a clue. I'm not, County Mayor Hutto says he doesn't have enough time or he's not, whatever, to follow up this. It's easy. You look at the website, if it's a generic agenda, there's a problem. I even asked you, Mr. Chairman, to agree to just take the CTAS training. And that's all I asked. I said, if you'll agree to take the training because you're the chairman of this committee and the budget committee, I said, that go a long way. And if you don't go, none of the others are gonna go. And I couldn't even get a response back from you on that. There's some other things I won't talk about, but I'm gonna leave those for another day. Y'all need to have a rule committee meeting. And I can't even get the chair of the rule committee or my commissioner to respond to a phone call or text message. I don't blow them up. I might have reached out since November asking for a rules committee meeting. I've reached out 5 times in 3 months, got nothing. Mr. Jennings, what time is the, it's 48 hours on the agenda according to state law, if I'm not mistaken.
It is.
And is there anything else I need to say to, in your opinion, to help this project get along to where we have agendas posted?
No, but I will say something about this particular committee.
And I understand that this was a scenario, I don't wanna upset the lady on the cruise ship this week any more than anybody else.
No, well, you don't ever want to upset a lady. I'll go on the record for that. But without being too much more of a smart aleck, Chris, this committee presents a little bit of a challenge for it because the school board many times meets on the first Monday, and that's when this comes up. So then the education committee, you'll probably remember from your days as a county commissioner, meets many times that Thursday, just like it has this month. So we can't make that 48-hour thing work in there particularly.
Tonight's Thursday. You had to have an agenda Tuesday night. The meeting for the school board was on Monday night, I believe.
It was, but we gotta get it out. I don't do that, so I can't speak to how long it takes or whatever on that. What I'm saying is this committee has the most condensed.
I believe what
Time
you're
frame.
saying, if I may.
Yeah.
You're talking about the resolution or the item. I'm talking
Yeah.
about an agenda.
Well,
If you don't know that you're gonna meet on it, 2 days before.
that's what we're meeting about tonight.
Yes, sir, but I don't need the packet. I just need to know what you're meeting.
I know.
I'm not passionate about budget amendments, but when there is something that somebody's passionate about and it's not there,
Yeah.
that's why.
Well, that's what I'm saying is, we can put on our resolution, but that's just a generic thing, doesn't tell you anything.
They knew what they were voting on Monday night. That's what you put on the agenda.
Let me try again. Monday night, we got out of there at 8 o'clock, okay? So we're now 70 hours from this meeting. Tuesday morning, Tuesday night, it's got to go out, I agree. But there's no way to know what to put on that agenda until they approve it on Monday night. So that's what I'm saying, it's more of a condensed time frame for
Yes,
this
sir.
particular committee. I'm not saying all of them. I agree with you on many points that you've made.
I understand you only have one day to get this particular
one-
agenda
This one
out,
is a little bit more challenging, yes.
but the others, this isn't anything, I've been talking to y'all about this since May. I don't want, I'd like for y'all to come up with a solution and then it's fixed. That's all.
How long have we been doing this way?
Well, we've been doing this for a long, long time, this way. And,
Since
Jeff and
2013?
Lisa put this one out, I believe, did y'all do this?
Yeah, let me just speak. Monday morning, which would have been, I guess, January what? What date is that? Six.
Six.
It was 6.
Okay.
Monday morning, my secretary come to me and said, hey, I was a little bit confused over postponement. I thought because of MLK Day changed, I was under the impression we had another week, but no problem, I'll get it there. And my secretary, I said, well, go ahead and send it pending approval of the board, which is what we have done previously to get it on the agenda.
Yes.
And that happened on Monday, attached to the agenda for education budget. And I thought due to MLK Junior Holiday, all meetings were a week later. I will send the budget amendment after approval at tonight's board meeting. And that was sent in. There's the email where it got. Tuesday morning, she came in after it was approved and emailed the approved budget amendment. Say confusion, I mean, if it's gonna cause, we don't wanna cause any problem. I'm just trying to get some money that's coming in that you'll see in that budget amendment on our books, to get it recorded. But if we need to postpone, we'll just postpone. That ain't no problem with us either.
And I'm not throwing that fit, and I'm not asking you to postpone.
Well, if we wanna follow state law, maybe, I'm telling you, maybe that's what we need to do. We postpone, we bring it back next month. It's already been approved by the board. It ain't no weight off my back, either way.
Respectfully, I'm gonna tell you, the way that the Open Meetings Act is, enforced, and that's part of the Open Meetings Act, the agenda. And, the way it's enforced is the citizen has to enforce it. There's not a government out there, and I think you and I both know how it works, cause and Mr. Jennings, we've been in that battle together. I'm not gonna push that issue today, but respectfully, and you sent it on Monday night.
That's it Monday morning.
There you go.
That secretary did, I did not.
I'm not asking you to postpone.
I mean, I don't, I deal with a lot, it's not worth the confusion to me. We survived a month, I believe we got another month.
Let me address something else. Since you brought up the open meetings. The road commission met this morning and the issues they deal with are fine right there. They have the authority to make that decision on a lot of things. So I understand why that needs to be 48 hours in advance. This needs to be 48 hours as well, but there are ways to cure this. And the law is full of cases that says if there is a sunshine law violation, but if it's later discussed in an open meeting with full and frank discussion, it cures it. We're gonna discuss this one tonight here. We're gonna discuss it in a few minutes at budget, and then we're gonna discuss it 11 days from tonight. And it's gonna be on the agenda that goes out in the packet 7 days in advance. So it ain't like this one's not gonna be beat up on. People be beat up. The road commission's a little different when they make a final decision. I certainly understand there's no chance to correct that if there's a mistake made. I agree, and I appreciate what Chris just said. He doesn't wanna hold us up tonight. I was prepared to say to him, don't hold it up tonight because we're gonna have another chance to talk about it 11 days from tonight. So, that's all I want to say.
Is there any other public comment? Okay, report from the director of schools.
We are back in session this week. Weather, we will be on school tomorrow. We did have a very good meeting Monday morning with our representatives came in and met with the board to discuss upcoming legislation. Of course, the topic most of the discussion was the voucher bill. It was a good meeting. Thank our representatives for coming. It gave opportunity for our board to voice their concerns, ask questions, hear from them. And, had a 2-hour meeting, went very well, it's pretty well attended. And I thought it was good dialogue and good representation of how government should work. Where you get in the room and sit down and talk about it. So, we will be watching that. I think there was a lot of questions from our board members and concerns about why they felt like they had concerns with that deal. And our representative did come and listen, engage in dialogue. Thank you for that. Building report, of course, this weather hurts buildings, but still progressing on the Gardo and Central Pipe. Both those projects are moving along. Enrollment, still up about 250. Haven't got, we'll be watching that closely in the next 10 days. I'm gonna give you an update in my report where we're at, what we're seeing this semester. But other than that, just, I'll starting off another semester. Any questions? Oh, one more thing I do wanna mention. We have done everything we can do or need to do on our end from school with TEMA and FEMA. On the 17 million that we are gonna be awarded, we're just waiting for that money to drop. Now, I don't know, I'm not gonna give you a time frame because I don't know how long that's gonna take. But we have got everything in place. We've also requested, you know, a few weeks ago, we were going to appeal the rejection of Stoner Creek. And FEMA and TEMA has come back, and that is now showing up that they are reworking that claim. They're not gonna require us to appeal. And what we've turned in is, I think, 15 million we're asking for on that. I don't know if we will get that granted, because at first they said it did not qualify, and it goes back to their 50-50 rule. I don't think they worked at the claim the first time on that 50-50 rule, so they've agreed to go back and work that claim. But we have secured 17 million. We have award letters on that. We've turned everything in, and we're waiting for that money to be dropped to the county. And I will keep you updated as we move through this process. I would love to get some more out of that.
Now, that won't delay the 17 million, the reworking.
That's another claim.
Okay.
There are two. I do want you to mention, you know, I know that's been a long process, but I do want to state, I want to thank my staff. You know, 4 years ago, we didn't even have a claim. And we now have secured some money that's really gonna help us, help the county.
Resolution?
First section, we received our high costs money. We never know exactly how much that's gonna be, but this is in addition of what we had budgeted, so we're increasing revenue. And of course, it's going to contracts with private agencies, to help with those costs. Second, they divided that high cost up this year, between high cost and transportation. So the second is where we're receiving the money for the transportation and, putting that against the expenditures for drivers, maintenance, and repair, and diesel fuel related to that. Next one, insurance recovery, that's claims that we have filed with our insurance company and money we've received back and the expenditures related to those. Next one is just where we're moving from supplies and materials to non-certified subs. That was just a request made by our academic. The next one is positions that have not been filled, and because of that, we've had to contract that out. So we're moving that to contracted services. The next one is donations that we have been given to the Family Resource Center from July through December of 2024. We're just recording those revenues and the expenditure line item for them to spend against. And then the last one is we've had a couple of unfilled positions in our voluntary pre-K, so we've had to have subs in those positions. So we're just increasing our sub line item and taking it out of the salary line item.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any questions now? Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Any old business? Any new business?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Thank y'all.